I'm Christine Cusinelli, and I'm on a mission to help women like you who are leaders make it in the C-suite. You see, I've spent my career searching, asking, praying, and almost begging for somebody to please be my mentor, somebody to please help me find a sponsorship program that is going to help me climb in heels up that corporate ladder. But there were many times where I felt like I was doing it alone. And so I have made it my commitment to women everywhere to be able to help them find somebody who can be the strong support base, offer them the help to be able to make it in the C-suite. So why is it that women don't feel sometimes very comfortable being able to take on a mentee? Well, honestly, some of it stems from competition. And I guess you can't blame other women because there are so few seats at the top. Some of the other reasons are that women sometimes feel like they don't have the time. Or, in some cases, some women feel that they simply don't have the skills necessary to be able to take on another mentee. And this last reason that keeps many women from stepping up is our topic for this week: imposter syndrome. And what is imposter syndrome? Well, it can be defined as a disconnect or a misalignment between how we feel about ourselves on the inside and the image we're projecting outward. But the clincher in it is that we also associate a fear of being discovered or figured out as a fraud because people may find that we're not as competent, we're not as smart, we don't have the credentials, and that fear causes us to have high levels of anxiety, lack of self-esteem. And all of these things, especially if you're talking about leadership, are all issues that you have to be able to get a hold of if you are going to be leading people. This week in this series, we're going to be looking at 5 different types of imposters, and here they are. The first type of imposter, and the one that we're going to deal with today, is the perfectionist. They set very, very lofty, very high goals. Sometimes they're basically unachievable. Secondly, they are hyper needing to be in control. They have difficulty delegating a task so much that they wind up being called a control freak. The other thing is that quite often, because they won't want to start a task until things are exactly right or perfect, and so they have troubles even getting started. They might have lots of great ideas, they have those lofty goals, but they have a lot of problems getting things executed because of their need to be in control. Not sure if this is you? Ask yourself these questions. Number 1, have you been called a micromanager? Number 2, do you have difficulty delegating? Number 3, when you fail, do you ruminate it on days and days on end? Even if it's just a small little glitch in your plan that didn't go as you planned in the first place? And lastly, even when you do succeed, are you often looking for the flaws or the areas that could have been done better? In my executive women's leadership program, I tackle the imposter syndrome head on by showing women 3 separate keys. The first one is insight, cohesion, catharsis. Getting clear on who you are as a person, what are your values, and how do they align with you as a leader in the workplace. Number 2 is thought leadership. This key teaches the women that I work with how they can rely on their skills, their assets, their knowledge, and build up their competence. We look at the latest and greatest, the best practices that are available to leaders right now. Number 3, we have a look at brand development, but also how to bulletproof your brand. Because as we know, or at least as we're becoming aware of, when women find themselves in that top seat, they're far likelier to get fired or blamed when things go wrong. So knowing who you are and building up a brand that you're putting out there to the world is one thing, but being able to protect it is quite another. And today for all of you, I have these 3 suggestions if you fall into the category of the perfectionist. Number 1, celebrate your success. In fact, own your successes, because it's in owning and celebrating those things that you do well that gives you that lull that allows you to kind of sit back and reflect on what you've accomplished. It's in those moments where you're taking pause that the brain has an ability and an opportunity to be able to say, I did that really well. I'm going to try that again sometime. Or, maybe that one little glitch, I know how I'm going to solve for that next time round. When you take the time to celebrate, you're increasing your contentment. We all need that. We all should be happy with the things that we do well. And secondly, you're increasing your self-confidence by doing that. Also, the consequence to not taking time to evaluate, reflect, and really appreciate the things that you've done is the number 1 cause of burnout. It's really important to take that lull, to take that time to be able to allow your body to recuperate and prepare for the next big goal. The second thing that I want to share with you that is going to help you if you fall into the category of the perfectionist is to change your view on mistakes. I wrote an entire book on changing your view about mistakes. Possibly because I've made my own. And I've had to learn to be able to appreciate all of the things in my life that caused me to sit on my butt and have to look back and understand where I went wrong. Making mistakes is actually like paying tuition to get a good education. And if you can change your mindset and look at mistakes as the greatest form of education, you will go a long way to being able to take risks and allow yourself to make little mistakes, which then prepare you when the big things happen. And the third concept that would really help a perfectionist is to take small risks. Go ahead, jump in before you think you're ready. Find those moments where you can sense the fear going on inside of you and really just jump right in. What that does is it allows you to see that it's not that bad. You're going to find yourself taking the initiative to try to roll the dice on some small risks and realize that, you didn't have to have it all planned out. So you will do a medium-sized risk, and then you'll be able to roll the dice and get a good win on some really amazing risks that you take. It's not necessary to plan every single thing out to the last detail, because as you go anyways, you're going to have to learn to pivot and to navigate through life. So you might as well take small risks in order to be able to show yourself that you can do it. Thanks for watching today. And if you think that you're ready to climb on into the C-suite, then I'd love it if you click on the link down below and get in touch with me so we can have a key call and discuss how I might be able to help you earn and secure your rightful spot in that C-suite. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you again very soon.